I want to talk about consciousness and nature. I hear a lot of people saying get into nature, get into nature, get into nature. And they don't really understand what's called the larger consciousness system, or consciousness. And consciousness, it's a lot to learn to that, okay? But here's my thing about nature. You have to be of nature more than just being in nature. And I said that before, that being in nature is just not going to help you just rise in consciousness if you're a person that just have a lot of it in your heart, right? If you're a person that have a lot of what you call Babylon in your heart. So a lot of what's in your heart is very much anti-nature, and it's not about the just plants and trees and seeds, right? A lot of stuff that's in your heart is just anti-nature. So it's more than about physically being in nature. So when people say get in nature, I want to talk about the cloud and what's happening. A lot of consciousness has already been uploaded to the cloud, because I've seen this big cloud. Like, it's like endless, an endless cloud that I've seen. I was like, oh, is this the cloud that they uploading consciousness to? Goodness gracious. And I don't see it with the physical eyes. I see it with a different set of eyes. I see this big old endless cloud that has uploaded people's consciousness. You can't see consciousness, right? Consciousness is a computer. That's like the brain is a computer. Consciousness is a computer. And the thing about people saying getting into nature, but if there's Wi-Fi in that particular part of nature that you live in, if you're able to get 4G and 5G and there's Wi-Fi over there, then you're not going to be exempt from being uploaded to that cloud. So what's the point of being around the birds and the birds and the bees and the trees? If you're in an area where there's Wi-Fi, there's a cloud, and your consciousness will still be uploaded to that cloud. Because you are still you're attached to consciousness, you're attached to the mind. Because people think the mind is theirs. They think they are the mind, when the mind is not the actual you. Okay? But, so that's what I'm saying, is that nature needs to be in you. It's good to be in nature, but nature needs to be in you, because what nature is, it's not just about you being in the physical location. It's about really you. It's about really you. Okay? Connecting with the real you. Okay? That's actually nature. Not necessarily being in a physical type of location that has Wi-Fi. I wanted to say that real quickly, because a lot of people in nature, it's great, but it's almost like sometimes when they want, it seems like they're trying to give a suggestion, oh, get out the cities, get into nature. If everybody leave the cities, now how many millions of people are in the cities? And if everybody left the city and went to nature, then that would make the nature the city. That would make the country the city. Or get into the country, where if everybody from the city moved to the country will become the city. How is that going to work? Okay? And then for people to keep suggesting that, the folks that are, the entities that are behind this plan, they already know that folks are talking about go to the country, go to nature. So they already planned that out, what they're going to do. And the truth of the matter is, just for a little part that I do know, is that anywhere where there is Wi-Fi, there's a cloud. And your consciousness can still be uploaded to a cloud, regardless if you're around the trees and the birds. Okay? So it's not just about being in nature. You need to be of nature, but it's not necessarily what you think, because it's a virtual reality. So what is it to physically go somewhere if you're in the virtual reality? But also I want to say, too, there are places. I actually listened to somebody else kind of say this, and this person don't have anything higher than 3G on their phone. Like, they don't have higher than 3G. And they're in a location where there's hardly any Wi-Fi, but it's like hardly any. I don't think it's any Wi-Fi at all. I think they got the internet. But the phone is no higher than 3G. And he say when his family calls him, it's hard for his family and friends to get in touch with him. Okay? because he don't have that 4G and 5G like other places, because he's aware. He's the one that talked about the cloud too. Okay. And so, yeah, now there's an area in a lot of places. It's one in the United States too, but I forget where it is. But it's one in the United States too, but it's also in other places where there's absolutely no Wi-Fi. So no Wi-Fi, no cloud. No Wi-Fi, no cloud. That's just from my understanding. Okay, no Wi-Fi, no cloud. And if you want to physically be somewhere where it'll be safe, those are some of the safest places to prevent being uploaded to the cloud and being put in laptop computers and apps, because that's what they're going to do. They're controlling consciousness. They're controlling the brain. And since a lot of people believe they are the brain, they believe the brain is in their heads, and they believe the brain is actually theirs, that they're going to be controlled. Yeah, there is no free will, especially when you think you are the mind and when you think you are the brain. And you would think the brain is really in your body, in your head, which is really just a physical representation of something larger, the larger consciousness system. And people who believe that, that's fine, but you don't have free will like you think you do. The free will, you don't have free will like that. Somebody else is going to be able to control it, you. But really, if you're in a position that you're able to go somewhere and to keep from being uploaded to this cloud, it's best to be in areas where there is just no Wi-Fi. There's just no Wi-Fi. And actually, this is what somebody else said. I can't take credit for it. I could call his name, but he's not the safest person to to watch too much. But you got to know how to eat the meat and spit out the bones. And that's David Icke, right? I don't listen. Listen, the thing is about David Icke and people like Bobby Hemmett and all these other people, you don't have to trust them. They don't have to be your savior. Some things they say just ain't fully truth, and some things they say are truth. I don't really take these people to be my hero. But some things they say, if you really listen to some of the things that people say, it can change your life if you know how to just not get emotional when listening to people and take in the information that is necessary for you to take in, instead of getting emotional saying, well, I don't like them. Well, they might be saying something that's going to save my life. Okay, whether I like them or not. So let's not get into the emotions and take what is beneficial. Okay? Anyway, that's it, and I'll talk later.